I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for the month of August, August 27th, 2025. Aaron, roll call.
President Zipfel.
Yep, here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lestracco.
Here.
Commissioner Partha.
Here.
So we have a couple of representatives from VMSC with us this evening, and I'd like to, if they would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was relatively painless. All right, so we have a particularly special recognition this evening, but we have some housekeeping items. So why don't we go through those first, and we'll do them as quickly as we can. First, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda? So, motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Vice President Rogers. Any questions or comments about tonight's agenda, the one before you that's up on the screen? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor of moving ahead with that agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we can move ahead with that agenda. Next, citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments related to agenda items? All right. I even see head nod shaking, so that's so no one's got any citizens' comments on agenda items. So we're going to move to our consent items. Is there a motion to move into the record the consent items that are in your agenda?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Lestracco, second by Vice President Rogers. Those consent items include the Board of Commissioners meeting minutes for July 23, the Treasurer's report for the month of July, the paid bills in the amount of $252,179.51, unpaid bills in the amount of $1,579,364.25, the budget report for the month of August, the VMSC monthly report for the month of July, North Penn Water Authority meeting minutes for June 24th, the HTMA budget report for the month of July, and the police report for the month of July. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, those are approved. Okay, we have a very special recognition for Hague's Christmas tree. Gary and Janet Hague are with us tonight because they won a national wreath competition, but we want to recognize them for more than that. So I'm going to go down to the podium, and then I'd ask if the Hagues would join me there. All right, so this is going to be a lot of fun for me, but you have to sit or stand probably awkwardly and embarrassing as we compliment you for the many things that you've done for our community just for a few minutes. I promise we won't keep you up here for too long because I know both of the Hagues for many, many years since I moved in almost 30 years ago. Absolutely wonderful people, and I'm sure that they are desperately wondering, why, Tom, are you going to make us stand here in front of everyone? But that is part of our way of saying thank you, is to recognize you and have you here. So for those, I'm sure everyone in the town knows that Hague's Christmas Tree Farm is a staple in our community. They have been here for many, many years, and I like to think of it as you've been sharing Christmas with our entire community for decades now. Many families, mine included, and I know a number of other here who are commissioners that on the dais and others that are in the crowd, have gone to the Christmas tree to your farm to not just kind of buy a tree, but also kind of to kick off and start their Christmas season. And it has meant so much to so many people. And then uniquely, we just found out that they had won yet again another blue ribbon of a national contest. And so we thought, you know what, it's just about time that we brought you in and say thank you and also recognize you. And so let me tell you a little bit about what they just won. So they won the 2025 National Christmas Tree Association Wreath Contest held out in Lake City, Michigan on July 25th. There's a panel of 3 judges that judge the wreaths, and then each farm attending, as I understand it, gets their own vote. And they won first prize in the decorated category and second prize, which is called the Reserve Champion, in the undecorated wreath category. All the greens that they used were wreaths that were the greens they used for the wreaths were grown here in Hatfield, Pennsylvania. So it's amazing that they've won this not just one time, but I knew that it was multiple times, and I asked them just before the meeting, this is their 5th blue ribbon on a national level, and I believe that they have even more than just the blue ribbons, and that is, it's just, you know, when you have a small town like Hatfield and you have somebody who does such great things for the community by sharing Christmas with us, and then they go out and then on a national level are recognized, it's just, it's really very exciting for all of us. So let me give you a little bit of history though, just so you have a sense of who they are and what the Hague's Christmas tree is all about. And I stole this from your website, so if I'm wrong, it's entirely your son's fault then. So in 1973, they inherited the farm, and it looks like that someone must have looked at someone else and said, what are we going to do here? What are we going to make of this? The farm upstate, that's right, not the one here.
Living in an apartment here in Hatfield.
Oh, is that right? Okay, so that's even a better part of the story. So living in an apartment here in Hatfield, they inherit the farm upstate, and then they decided, okay, we're going to join the Pennsylvania Christmas Tree Growers Association and began attending Penn State Cooperative Extension meetings just to learn about growing Christmas trees. Fast forward 4 years to 1977, they sold their first trees by taking orders and delivering them to families and friends. And then in 1984, they purchased the 40-foot road property that we all go to for our trees, and that's when they started planting in that spring. In 1992, they purchased the property adjacent to that of the original location, giving them more room for customer parking and display and you know, overall benefit to the business. In 1994, they built the construction of the sales building. And then in 1996, there's the addition of the wreath barn, which I can tell you in my family was gone over very big, not just for all of us, but I know that my wife and my daughter talk to other people who all talk about who go into the wreath barn, and they're a part of that. And then of course they continue to grow not just the trees upstate, but then also there's local trees, and you know they are one of the first locations, if not, well, certainly for me, the first location that had a tree for the troops. And that was probably the early 90s, if I recall correctly. Or no, mid-90s. Because it was our first Christmas, and I say our because there is a personal story that I have to share about Gary and Janet. And that is, my wife and I moved in days before Christmas when we moved here just short of 30 years ago. I mean, literally a week before Christmas, and just kind of found it because it's not far from our house. And it's one of our favorite stories. We talk about this every year, and the two of them are probably bored stiff hearing this, but this is a part of our tradition in our family where we talk about things that happened and what kind of trees we got and how this all started for us. The very first Christmas, Sue and I owned this tiny little vehicle, I mean, tiny, tiny little thing, and we got this big, big tree. And Gary said to me, not knowing who I was, he said, I don't think you should do this. I don't think I'm going to let you drive away with this. And after some begging and pointing across the street and saying, you see that? I think you can see the top of my house over there. He relented and let us drive over there. And I have to tell you, it was just a wonderful, that first Christmas tree, you know, as a new family, we remember it. And every year we go back, we get the same type of tree. We try and we have a monster debate inside our family between my wife and my son and me and my daughter. The two of us want one kind and two of us want another, normally height and width and everything else. And Gary and Janet have to suffer through these conversations, these stories, just like probably most of you are right now. But my point in doing this is telling this is because that's our tradition. That's what they've brought to our family. And it is literally the kickoff to our season. And my daughter, who doesn't live at home, but when she's not able to be with us to pick out our tree, there's text messages and phone calls and pictures and conversation because she needs to know what kind of tree we're getting from Hague's that year. And that's not an exaggeration. Again, part of our family tradition. And I tell them this because that's just one family. And there are hundreds or more of other families that have these same stories. And it's because of the generosity of the two of you. And it would, you know, I don't think either one of them here is running this company to make millions of dollars. Quite frankly, I suspect that I can see from their expression shaking their head, it's quite the opposite. but I think they have a little bit of understanding of the impact that they have on community. And again, let me go back to what brought us here, what got us to recognize you is not just bringing your wonderful sharing of Christmas to the community, but then winning this national award, on behalf of all the commissioners and really on behalf of all the residents. We want to say congratulations. So before I give you the microphone and let you tell us a little bit about the wreaths and a little bit about the competition itself, I do want to I want to read the proclamation for you. And so don't worry, it's not too repetitive to what I just said. And you're going to have to help me with maybe some of the use of the like the juniper and the names or the language of the greens that were used. So recognizing Hayes Christmas Tree for winning the 2025 National Christmas Tree Association Wreath Contest. Whereas the National Christmas Tree Association held its 2025 Wreath Contest in Lake City, Michigan on July 25, 2025, featuring decorated and undecorated wreaths submitted by first place winners from across the United States. And whereas Hague's Christmas Tree of Hatfield Township, Pennsylvania, proudly represented our community and earned first place, grand champion in the decorated wreath category, and second place, reserve champion in the undecorated wreath category. And whereas the wreaths were created using Nordman fir, I got it, okay, juniper, gold rider leyland cypresses, arborvitae, and white pine, with all the greens grown locally here in Hatfield Township. And whereas the dedication, craftsmanship, and excellence demonstrated by Hague's Christmas trees brings honor and recognition to Hatfield Township and reflect the spirit of our community's values and traditions, and now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners Hatfield Township does hereby recognize and commend Hague's Christmas trees for their outstanding achievements at the 2025 National Christmas Tree Association Wreath Contest, and extends appreciation for their role in showcasing Hatfield Township's excellence on a national stage. Presented this 27th day of August 2025, signed the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's for you. And if you want to go right ahead. Absolutely, go right ahead.
Okay, my wife says 25 words or less. I was a middle school teacher, parallel to growing Christmas trees, and now retired from that, of course. My father was a florist. That's some help. He taught me how to make bows and, of course, wreaths. And so when we got the Christmas tree farm and started selling trees, we thought we ought to add wreaths. So with that, being a member of the Pennsylvania Christmas Tree Growers, they had a wreath contest at their winter meeting, so I thought, well, I'll try that. Well, for many years, I went to those contests, took a wreath, and won nothing. That was learning time. And now that contest is at the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and we invite you all to go to the Pennsylvania Farm Show. It's the first full week of January. Guess who's on the committee for the Pennsylvania Christmas Tree Growers? So anyway, you've got to win your state in the decorated or undecorated before you can progress to national, and you have to be a member of both the state and the national associations. So that's where we have been, and we've gotten a whole lot of great vacations out of these meetings because they've been all over the country. We've gotten to know a lot of good people, also in the wreath and Christmas tree business, and have enjoyed it tremendously. So thank you for this recognition, and we're certainly glad to be here in Hatfield Township and serving Hatfield Township.
Here first and then there, in front of the, how about we're going to take some photos. Okay. Want to put these in there, and then we're going to have all the commissioners come down.
Works last all the time.
We can start saying 10 or less.
200 or less.
No, I can't. No. It's paid by the minute.
I think 25 works or less all the time.
I can't count the 25.
That's what Bob and I just said.
I'd be interested to know if other commissioners have debates on Christmas trees or some version of that for holidays each year, but not right now, but.
I really debates or fights.
So, all right, so we're going to jump into our committee reports, not nearly as exciting as the Christmas tree recognition. So, Planning and Zoning Committee, Vice President Rogers.
Mr. President, just out of respect for some of our guests, maybe if we jump down to the action item B,
Do you want to do that?
if you don't mind?
Sure.
And then we'll come back to
Actually,
the committee reports.
Let's do that. So action item B is a lease agreement with VMSC, which is a lease for the building next to us. It is for the lease associated with what will soon be our former police station. And so we'll talk about that in a second. So, but I'll ask, is there a motion for approval of the lease agreement? The chair will make the motion. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Andrus. Aaron, do you want to walk us through this one?
I can. Sure. We have representatives tonight from VMSC. I think tonight's an exciting night to announce a partnership. We've had a lot of questions about what are we going to use the existing building for. And I know one comment from a resident stuck in a lot of our minds. It was that the most environmentally impactful way to reuse a building is to reuse it for a different purpose. Our initial plans were maybe to demolish the building, possibly do other things. But when we heard that one of our partners, one of our emergency service providers, needed some more administrative space, commissioners thought it was a logical partnership to form and allow them to use the existing police station facility. So VMSC will be moving in at some point over the winter, spring, depending on what makes sense for our police department as Chief takes his team over to Cowpath Road. And we're excited to see what they can do with it. It's already an oversized office from the chief, so they'll be shrinking that down, I'm sure. But they'll be doing a lot of work, obviously, to retrofit a building that has cells and other police-specific uses. They're going to be doing a lot of work to the building, and we're excited to see the investment in one of the township-owned facilities and a long-term partnership that will better serve our residents. It's an exciting night.
Excellent.
Great. Any commissioners, anything else? Consultants, any residents, any questions or concerns? All right, well, this is just as easy as a vote. So, all right, I'll call the question. All in favor of the lease agreement with VMSC, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it. Congratulations to you as well.
Mr. President, if we could take a few pictures, you know,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to
Let's
put
do
out a
that.
press release later tonight and would like some pictures
Why don't
with VMSC and commissioners. Yep. It's going to be a fight over it. I think I just got fired. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds great. See you guys. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we'll go into committee reports. Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, the first one, Planning and Zoning Committee, Vice President Rogers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
All right, moving right along, Public Works Committee.
I'm going to defer to the staff report.
Okay. Parks and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Lestracco.
Thank you, President Ziffel. So I had talked about pickleball. I'm just going to mention it again. The spring, summer, fall pickleball continues until October 31st, and that will be Mondays through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Residents would pay $25, and non-residents would be $40. Seminars, we did that, sorry, skip that. We had some really successful evenings, music feast, so thank you everybody who came out for that. And so coming up, we have Rocktoberfest, October 4th. That will be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be at School Road Park, so please be looking for that, and I'll talk about that more next month as well. Rocktoberfest, that will be our 5K, and that will start Saturday, also October 4th. And it will start 10:30 a.m. and we'll start here at the Township Building for the race. So again, that's October 4th for the Rocktoberfest and the 5K. And then take out your phones, put this in your calendar. It's very popular. Mini Monster Halloween event, that will be October 17th. That's a Friday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's also at School Road Park. Thank you very much.
All right, good report. Public Safety Committee, Commissioner Partha.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we have a few updates. Exciting news from our Hatfield Volunteer Fire Company, first of all. Hatfield's new press heavy-duty rescue plumber squad 17 fire truck has been delivered from the manufacturer. The fire truck is getting its finishing touches at another location now, and will be at our one of public meetings in October for the commissioners to see up close. And we hope that the truck will also be at an upcoming township festival for the community to see it finished. The delivery trucks marks the end of over 4-year process to design and build the truck. So it's a long process, so of course we know. It's a reminder of the hard work our volunteers to do keep our community safe, and it's also a good symbol to the financial commitment that our commissioner have given our 2 volunteers, fire companies, to make sure they are properly equipped with the modern and safer vehicle and equipment. So we have few updates regarding the police. On July 18, our officers were on hand for the local hero movie night at School Road Park. On July 26th, officers were hand at our aquatic center for a Bucks Mount swim team. On July 8th, officer conducted a coffee with cops detail at Hatfield Giant. On July 20th, officers were on hand for the Friendship House Law Enforcement Days activities. On July 23rd, officers were on hand at the Black Reserve Bookstore in Lansdale for their annual book to the school event. Thank you.
All right, that's a lot of stuff. Thank you very much. Okay, Finance Committee, Commissioner Andrus.
Thank you very much.
Your mic's not on.
Oh, thanks.
You got it.
It's hard to believe, but we're going to turn the page in August, and the pool season will be over when we close on Monday the 1st, right? Mm-hmm. So it ends after Labor Day. The last event after that is Dogapalooza on September 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then we shut the pool down for the season. When it comes to finance for the Aquatic Center, it's always been a balancing act between making sure there's an excellent customer experience while also being mindful of any taxpayer money needed to support the operations. Even with perfect planning, and we had a stretch of rainy weather like we had in June, it was pretty hard to overcome that period of time. A few observations when looking at the finances of the Aquatic Center, as reported on August 15th. We had more township residents sign up for the season pass than we ever had before, which is great news. The concession stand was very popular, generating revenue, not profit, but revenue of $100,000. The customers were very happy with our updated menu and reasonable prices. Swim lessons were also popular, and I know for myself, our kids all went through the Hatfield swim learning program, and it was very, very fortunate. My son actually saved himself when we were at a party when he was young. He did the rollover, holler for help, and I really recommend it for anyone who has kids that program is just wonderful for lessons. The challenges we have is always on the aquatic staffing for safety purposes, combined with paying competitive wages. Expenses for personnel have risen. significantly over the past several years. Utility costs have also risen to keep the water warm in the cooler June month, and electric costs as well have increased. Even with these challenges and the less than ideal weather starting early summer, the vast majority of feedback this season has been overwhelmingly positive for pool customers. We're working on a survey that will be sent out to all of the season pass holders looking for feedback so that we can make improvements for next season. As we always do, we will meet with the pool board and pool staff in the fall to start planning for the 2026 season, always focused on safety, customer experience, and being fiscally responsible. Many thanks to the volunteer pool board members, Assistant Manager Scott Hunt, Pool Manager John Taylor, and Operations Manager Mike Cruson, as well as the other management and entire staff for all of their hard work this summer. It's yeoman's work, but very much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. Okay, we're going to jump into action items. We have 3 left. This first one is Resolution 25-13. So that's with regard to the intermunicipal police services agreement with Franconia Township. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lestrako, second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, do you want to walk us through this?
I'd be happy to. Thanks, Mr. President. If anybody hasn't realized it, we have a new road in the town. We only had 250,000 comments on Facebook in every opinion known to man. With the new road, and my personal opinion is that it has been very beneficial to our community.
Right.
And I think speaking to residents on Durstein Fairgrounds, even Minninger, it's outside of our town, but and even 40 Foot, they've observed significantly less trucks on their roads because of this, and that was the intent of the road that we're all familiar with. The road itself is a shared border between Hatfield and Franconia. The action item in front of you, Commissioners, tonight is simply an agreement, intermunicipal police agreement, allowing Chief's team to patrol that road as well as Franconia's team. Similar arrangement, and Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, but a similar arrangement that we have with Hilltown for 309 and New Britain Township for 309 as well.
309 County Line Road, yep.
Correct. So similar arrangement. And if you've driven that road, you've seen the officers. They've been out there, and Chief, thanks to your team, a lot of concerns were because of the design, there will be speeding, and you're in there's sound walls that makes it even seem like it's more going to be prone to speeding. But I drive it multiple times a day, and I see Hatfield and Franconia out there. So our police, I think, are setting the tone that we're not speeding on this road. But it is a very convenient road to get to certain places without coming through the neighborhoods of our town. So this just allows us to patrol it along with our neighbor.
All right, well described. Any questions or comments from anyone? All right, then hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of Resolution 25-13, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, action item, the third action item, which is an agreement of sale for 2350 East Vine Street. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Vice President Rogers, second by Commissioner Partha. Aaron, if you want to walk us through this one.
Sure. Thanks, Mr. President. And first, I'd like to thank Vice President Rogers for helping coordinate and facilitating this action item for the township. You see in the illustration, the red shaded area are all parcels owned by the township. The yellow parcel almost went for sale, never actually hit the market. The sign went up. Vice President Rogers talked to the family, relayed to me, and we were able to have a great conversation with them. It's obviously a very important property for the township and for the future expansion of our aquatic center, or really whatever the commissioners in the future intend to do with the space. We thought it was a smart move to strategically secure the location in the meantime while we plan future expansion or not. And across Chestnut Street, obviously, that's all township property as well that I don't have highlighted where the dog park is. So this was a significant piece of property that's important for the future of parks and recreation in Hatfield Township. And the commissioners made a swift move, and we had a great conversation with the family selling the property. And tonight, an action item is in front of you to formally acquire the property with a settlement date after Labor Day. So we will move forward with the acquisition of this property. And just as a reminder to the public, commissioners are well aware of this, just a few years ago, the parcel right next to it to the left, whatever direction that happens to be, southwest,
Yeah.
was purchased by the township as well. If any of you remember, it was a home not in great condition, and the township purchased that, knocked it down, and created a nice open space area. So future plans to be determined by the commissioners, but as of tonight, the commissioners can approve the acquisition, and then we move forward together and plan something as a community.
No, it's great. I'm glad. We've talked about that with Dietrich's for years. So I'm glad they've been living there probably about 60 years. And towards the end, when they were hard of hearing, it wasn't too bad with the pool being there, the music and stuff like that. But a great family.
And it's always great to connect township properties like that for use in the future, which is, of course, undetermined, but I think that's a real good piece of the puzzle that we just were able to acquire. All right, any other questions or comments? No? Hearing none, then I'll call a question. All in favor of that agreement of sale, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, last action item, which is the acquisition condemnation, which is part and parcel of what we just talked about. It's Resolution 25-14 for 2350 East Vine Street. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Vice
Second.
President Rogers, second by Commissioner Partha. Aaron, I think this is just part of the,
This is just the mechanism that we use when we acquire property to make it a smoother process for both the buyer and seller. And thanks to John and his office for leading us down this path and putting together all the legal documents that are associated with it.
Mr. Solicitor, thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor of Resolution 25-14, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, we're going to jump to Township Staff Report.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just a few items just to keep the board and the public updated and aware of some of the more impactful projects that we're working on. The most problematic intersection in the township is Welsh Shore Villa. I think a lot of people agree with that. We met with all of the property owners on Hatfield side just last week to go over the final design of the, not realignment, but the improvements that would be made. And we have full cooperation from Plains Mennonite Church, the gas station, Spaniels Automotive. Went through everything with them without any concerns. John's office will be helping us with some of the easements that we need to get secured in order to be completely shovel-ready to show the granting authorities that we're ready to go. So we do, as you know, we have an application in right now with PennDOT. We should hear something this fall. If that is approved, we're off and running to fix that intersection. If we miss on that one, then we're going to obviously reapply for funding down the road. But we really are hoping we can secure, and we'll have to reach out again to our representative and senator to just make sure it's on their radar and whatever they can do. I think the state needs a budget first before we do anything like that. But we're certainly positioning ourselves to get the funding needed to fix the intersection. And again, we have a partner on this one, unlike Orvilla Cowpath, where we split costs entirely with Talmetzen since we share the intersection. Liberty Bell Trail is something I know Commissioner Andrus is interested in. Years ago, we secured funding to build 1,500 feet of the Liberty Bell Trail that would connect Hatfield Borough to Orvilla Road. It was federal money which we received, so we're going through a very lengthy federal and state review period. But we did meet with DVRPC, our Regional Planning Commission staff members, last week as well to go over that project, and it is on track to hopefully be bid out in 26. It is a slow-moving project, but one that we do hear about, and it's important. One thing to note is Lansdale is weeks away from bidding out a section of their Liberty Bell Trail that will come into the Wedgwood Park, Moyer Road area, which then we will one day connect to. So we'll have an intermunicipal connection that will ultimately then get you into Upper Gwynedd. The goal is to combine 5 towns by one trail. So we're working toward that. Police station's coming along. I don't know if Chief wants to mention anything about that. He's there every day as our construction manager. But if you drive by Cowpath, you see that a lot of improvements every day. Something new appears. Windows are in, flooring's coming in. We'll do another tour, commissioners of the station, probably in September. We expect that to be coming along. Chief's done a fantastic job with fundraising. We anticipate the spring of next year having a community event. And Chief, are you okay with me talking about that? Okay. Chief's in the process of planning a community event to allow our residents to come in and see the new police station, and kids events, and all kinds of great thoughts coming out from Chief's office. Chief's already single-handedly raised over $10,000. He's going to be helping over $10,000 in the last few weeks, and that's just the beginning. I'd imagine by the end we're going to have fireworks and celebrity guests. I don't know what else Chief has up his sleeve, but
We're working for a good event. We haven't had a national night out in years, and we really like to make it like that and then make this be the blueprint for the future. So I think the building will certainly draw people in, good and bad, hopefully more good. But I think through the years it'll be a perfect location to bring everybody together from the township of the borough.
Great.
A good fundraiser would be bail your commissioner out of jail.
Nobody's going to do that.
that could backfire.
Okay, maybe we won't make a whole lot of money on that one.
Maybe we'll just stink with like a dunk tank instead. It's much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Key to jail, how about that?
There you go.
Key to the
That's a
jail
good
would be
idea.
popular.
Key to the jail.
Chief's got a lot of ideas, and we're hoping for a spring event where it can be really hopefully even a shutdown of Cowpath, where we have a partnership with the Snyder Square Shopping Center and turn it into a really big festival for everyone to come out and see it. So excited about that. If you are interested in sponsoring that event, please contact Chief. I know letters went out to every business owner, and so far the reception has been very warm, and a lot of people want to support our police, which is understandable. That's all I have, Commissioners, for tonight. We'll get back in September and start the budget process and all the things
Yep.
that fall brings.
Yep, that's good. Very good. Good updates. Mr. Solicitor, anything to report?
For the record, I'm a Douglas fir man for Christmas trees.
They're laughing.
And no, and
Then you're-
what you were saying about the Christmas trees, I have flashbacks of my dad making me hold 50 trees up and saying, this is not the right one. Hold this tree up. So brings back
Yes.
good memories. Other than that, nothing to report tonight. So.
Yeah, I mean, holding up trees for your parents is to character building moment. So yes,
50 trees is a nightmare.
absolutely. And Douglas fir, you're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome in the zip file house for sure. All right. Any citizens' comments? Any citizens' comments at all? All right. If not, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lestracco, second by Vice President Rogers. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.